reading from the book of the prophet Isaiah. For Zion's sake, I will not hold my peace. For Jerusalem, I will not keep silent, until her holiness shines like the dawn and her salvation flames like a burning torch. The nations will see your holiness and all the kings your glory. You will be called by a new name which the mouth of the Lord will reveal. You will be a crown of glory in the hand of the Lord, a royal diadem in the hand of your God. No longer will you be named forsaken. No longer will your land be called abandoned, but you will be called my delight and your land espoused. For the Lord delights in you and will make your land his spouse. As a young man marries a virgin, so will your builder marry you. And as a bridegroom rejoices in his bride, so will your God rejoice in you. Responsorial Psalm. Proclaim his marvelous deeds to all the nations.
Proclaim his marvelous deeds to all the nations.
Sing to the Lord a new song. Sing to the Lord, all the earth. Sing to the Lord, bless his name. Proclaim his salvation day after day.
Proclaim his marvelous deeds to all the nations.
Sing to the Lord, praise his name. Proclaim his salvation day after day. Declare his glory among the nations, his marvelous deeds among all peoples.
Proclaim his marvelous deeds to all the nations.
Ascribe to the Lord, all you families of nations. Ascribe to the Lord glory and strength. Ascribe to the Lord the glory due his name. Bring an offering and come into his courts.
Proclaim his marvelous deeds to all the nations.
Worship the Lord in the splendor of his holiness. Tremble before him, all the earth. Say among the nations, the Lord reigns. The world is firmly established, it cannot be moved. He will judge the peoples with equity.
Proclaim his marvelous deeds to all the nations.
A reading from the first letter of Paul to the Corinthians. There is diversity of gifts, but the Spirit is the same. There is diversity of ministries, but the Lord is the same. There is diversity of works, but the same God works in all. The Spirit reveals his presence in each one with a gift that is also a service. One is to speak with wisdom through the Spirit. Another teaches according to the same Spirit. To another is given faith, in which the Spirit acts. To another, the gift of healing, and it is the same Spirit. Another works miracle, another is a prophet, another recognizes what comes from the good or evil spirit. Another speaks in tongues, and still another interprets what has been said in tongues. And all of this is the work of the one and only Spirit, who gives to each one as he so desires. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. 3 days later, there was a wedding at Cana in Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there. Jesus was also invited to the wedding with his disciples. When all the wine provided for the celebration had been served, and they had run out of wine, the mother of Jesus said to him, "They have no wine." Jesus replied, "Woman, what concern is that to you and me? My hour has not yet come." However, his mother said to the servants, "Do whatever he tells you." Nearby were 6 stone water jars, set there for ritual washing as practiced by the Jews. Each jar could hold 20 or 30 gallons. Jesus said to the servants, "Fill the jars with water." And they filled them to the brim. Then Jesus said, "Now draw some out and take it to the steward." So they did. The steward tasted the water that had become wine, without knowing from where it had come, for only the servants who had drawn the water knew. Immediately he called the bridegroom and said, "Everyone serves the best wine first, and when people have drunk enough, he serves that which is ordinary. But you have kept the best wine until the end." This miraculous sign was the first, and Jesus performed it at Cana in Galilee. In this way he showed his glory, and his disciples believed in him.
Reflection for the second Sunday in Ordinary Time. The story of our Lord's miracle of turning water into wine at the wedding feast in Cana is a Johannine tale introducing the evangelist's theological agenda of explaining the newness which our Christ intended to bring into the world through a manifestation of signs. The abundance of wine of the best quality represented the advent of a new age, the transitioning from an epoch of past mistakes to a better one filled with more courage and hope, which in this case, our Lord Himself heralded through the miracle. In other words, newness was inaugurated by newness itself. It is a newness that takes place within the context of a matrimonial celebration, a newness that seems to redefine the sacred connection between the divine and the human. Hence, the Cana miracle symbolizes a new divine relationship, for not only has God taken the initiative to descend for us here suffering on earth by suffering with us, but He has also made the decision to satisfy His own justice with mercy and compassion, such that we make the similar decision to move beyond expectations and to suffer for Him. The sacred connection is thus redefined from one that solely seeks to restore to one that also seeks to transform and to give back. God has not only begun to pave the way for our reconciliation with Him, it is also His wish that through love, we may respond with the same intense love through heroic action and service for His kingdom of peace. So, holiness does not consist of actions meant for mere compliance to ecclesiastical dictates, as if sanctity is guaranteed through the recitation of specific prayers at specific times, through pilgrimages to specific places, through the quantity of church services rendered, or number of people helped, etc. Holiness does not carry with it a scorecard, nor a diploma of completion. It is and should not lend itself to an image of the Spirit tallying the volume of sins that must be outweighed by certain good deeds such that everything balances out. We may be projecting upon God our own selfish desire to simply meet minimum requirements, and our own mistaken understanding that He simply wants to call it even. Our God is much more than that. He made the crucial decision not to make us simply pay for our transgressions by expressing anger, but to help us to be free of it by expressing love. In expressing such love and humility, He impels us to respond with the same love and humility, to try to become what He is in selflessness and faithfulness, thereby becoming like regenerated extensions of Himself, little mustard seeds that can eventually move mountains. We must become like saints who are transformed sinners, unsatisfied with simply meeting minimum requirements and uninterested in simply calling it even, but who are mystically inspired to love with all their hearts, with all their souls, and with all their minds.